Please subscribe my channel Wisdom After 60 and press bell notification.
There's a moment we all face as we grow older, when names start slipping through our fingers like sand, when we walk into a room and pause, unsure of what we came for, when we begin to wonder, is my memory fading? It can be a little unsettling, not just because we've forgotten something small, but because it makes us question if we're still the same version of ourselves. The truth is, memory changes with age, but that doesn't mean it has to disappear. It doesn't mean you've lost your sharpness or your story or your worth. In fact, there's a gentle, powerful habit, simple enough to do each day, that can help improve memory after 70. It doesn't require medicine. It doesn't ask you to be perfect. It simply asks for a few minutes of quiet presence. In this video, I want to walk with you through that habit. I'll explain how it works, why it matters, and how you can gently bring it into your life in a way that feels comforting and empowering, because your memory is still alive. It just needs a little more attention, a little more care. So if you've ever felt uncertain about your mind, or fear the slips and forgetful moments, please stay with me. This conversation is for you. And if you find peace in soft, sincere discussions like this, I invite you to subscribe to Elderly Echoes and tap the bell icon. Here, you're not forgotten. Here, your wisdom is honored. And here, we walk together, gently, one memory at a time. One of the kindest truths we often forget is this: your brain is not finished growing. Just because you've reached a certain age, even after 70, it still responds to care. It still listens when you speak kindly to it. It still lights up when you engage it with presence. So what is this simple habit that can help your memory feel clearer, steadier, and more alive? Writing things down, not typing, not recording, just writing with your own hand, on paper, for yourself. It may sound easy to be helpful, but that's the beauty of it. When you write, your brain does something special. It slows down, it pays attention. It connects the physical movement of your hand with the thought forming in your heart. That connection helps your memory settle more deeply. It doesn't have to be a big journal or long entries. Even just a few sentences a day can make a difference. Write what you noticed in the morning, what someone said that made you smile, a memory that floated into your mind, or even just how you're feeling. These small written moments gently train the brain to stay present. They help organize your thoughts and keep your mind active, clear, and engaged. It's like giving your memory a soft stretch, not forcing it, but waking it up with kindness. And more than anything, this habit helps you remember yourself, your voice, your values, your story. It gives shape to your days and gently tells your brain, this mattered. Let's remember this. After all, memory isn't just about facts and figures. It's about what touches you, what you choose to hold close. Writing helps you do that, slowly, simply, and with deep love for who you are right now. Let's be honest, forgetting things isn't just frustrating. It can feel deeply personal. A momentary blank space in your mind can bring on waves of doubt. You might wonder, is this the beginning of decline? Or what if I'm losing myself? But here's a truth that often gets lost in that worry. Forgetting is human at every age. What changes with time isn't your worth or your wisdom. It's simply the pace at which your mind holds and retrieves things, and sometimes the fear of forgetting becomes more damaging than the forgetting itself. When we start doubting our memory, we lose confidence. We stop sharing stories. We second-guess our thoughts, and we quietly withdraw, not because we have to, but because we're afraid. This is where that one simple habit, writing, becomes more than just a memory tool. It becomes a way of reclaiming trust in yourself. Each time you write, you send your brain a gentle signal. You are still here. You are still capable. You're not just recording your thoughts. You're honoring them. You're giving them space to live outside your mind, where you can see them, read them back, and feel proud of what remains clear. There's a quiet power in holding your own words in your hands. Even a single sentence, written with honesty, can help you reconnect with your inner self. It reminds you that, no matter how many details slip away, the essence of who you are is still very much alive. And what's more, writing helps soften the emotional weight of forgetfulness. It invites you to see yourself not as someone losing something, but as someone learning a new way to listen, to reflect, to remember. You are not fading. You are evolving, and your memory, like your spirit, is still worth nurturing with care. Let's talk for a moment about the body, not just the mind, and how deeply they are connected. What many people don't realize is that writing by hand doesn't just help with emotional clarity. It has real, physical effects on the brain that support memory in meaningful ways. When you put pen to paper, multiple regions of the brain light up at once, areas responsible for thinking, focusing, movement, and emotional processing. This kind of multi-sensory engagement is especially powerful for older adults because it encourages something called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and form new connections even later in life. Unlike passive activities like watching TV or even reading, writing is active. Your brain is not just receiving information, it's creating it, organizing thoughts, choosing words, forming sentences. It's gentle, focused exercise for the mind. And just like walking helps your legs stay strong, writing helps your memory stay sharp. There's also the added benefit of reducing stress. When you take a few moments to reflect on your day through writing, you give your nervous system a break. You slow your breathing, your heart rate softens, and when the body is calm, the brain functions better. It stores and retrieves memories more easily. Writing also helps you track patterns. You might start to notice when your energy is better, when you feel clearest, or what kinds of activities help you stay mentally alert. That self-awareness alone can guide your choices in ways that protect your memory. It doesn't have to be private. Journaling can become part of connection. You can write a short note to a friend, a letter to your younger self, a list of stories to share with your grandchildren. These simple acts build emotional and relational bridges that keep your memory and your heart engaged. So if you've been wondering how to support your mind after 70, know this: your hand holds the key. One page at a time, one memory at a time, and one quiet moment of attention that tells your brain, I'm still here. Let's keep going. There's a part of memory that goes far beyond the brain. It lives in your soul, in the quiet corners of who you are, and in the moments that shaped you. We often think of memory as a mental function, but it's also deeply spiritual. It's tied to how we feel connected, how we find meaning, and how we reflect on the life we've lived. That's why the simple act of journaling can become more than just a tool. It can become a form of emotional grounding. When you sit down to write, even for a few minutes, you're doing more than recalling facts. You're honoring your life. You're pausing to say, this mattered, I mattered, and in that pause, something soft and sacred happens. You reconnect with yourself. Some days, you might write about the past, a moment of love, or a loss that still lingers. Other days, you might write about today, the quiet joy of your morning tea, a song that stirred a memory, or a conversation that stayed with you. These small reflections create a thread that ties your past to your present, and over time, this thread becomes a lifeline, not just for your memory, but for your heart. Because when we stop reflecting, we risk forgetting not only events, but the meaning behind them. We risk losing the why of our days. But writing brings that why back into focus. It reminds you that you are still living a story worth noticing, remembering, and sharing. There's also healing in writing. You may uncover old wounds that want forgiveness. You may rediscover moments of joy you had buried. You may simply sit with yourself in stillness, offering compassion to the person you are now, wiser, weathered, and still growing. So this habit of writing isn't just about memory. It's about presence. It's about being here, fully, gently, honestly. Because when you show up for yourself, you strengthen more than your mind. You nurture your spirit. And that, too, is a kind of remembering. So now we've come full circle. From the worry of forgetting to the quiet power of remembering. Not through force, not through pills, but through something so simple, so human, that we often overlook it. The gentle habit of writing. You don't need fancy journals. You don't need the right words. All you need is a moment, a pen, a scrap of paper, and the willingness to meet yourself where you are, because every sentence you write is a small act of self-respect. Every memory you record is a soft reminder that your life matters, your voice matters, and your mind is still beautifully alive. It's never too late to begin. Whether you write about your breakfast, a childhood memory, or just a single word that captures how you feel, it's all enough. You're not here to impress anyone. You're here to stay connected to yourself, and as the days pass, you may find something beautiful happening. Not only does your memory begin to feel sharper, but so does your spirit. You start to feel more present, more aware, more you. So if your memory has been feeling cloudy, or your confidence has been a little shaken, take heart. You are not lost. You are still learning how to hold your story, one word at a time. And if this message brought you peace or encouragement, I invite you to subscribe to Elderly Echoes and tap the bell. We're building a space of calm, wisdom, and quiet strength. And your presence here means the world. Keep writing, keep remembering, and never forget, you are still the author of your days.